What's poppin', everybody? This is Ray Rawlins from the Ray Rawlins Network, and I'm joined by Alex Payne. Today we are continuing the 31 Days of Halloween Cartoons Marathon, and we're reviewing, at least Alex Payne tells me this is the name, Fo- Foster, what is it called? It's a long ass name.
Foster's
Foster's
home for
Home of
imaginary friends.
Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. And the episode name, according to Alex Payne, is Nightmare on Wilson Way. So there you go. Alex Payne, give us the episode breakdown. That long ass title
well,
name and shit.
well, this is the Halloween episode. Obviously, gotta mention that because that goes, some things go without saying, but you gotta say them anyway.
Of course.
And this episode is pretty much about Blue, who's, with his boisterous personality, loves to trick people, and he uses Halloween as an excuse to trick as many people as he can. So he goes around with, the classic peanut brittle gag, from SpongeBob, because
Shout
SpongeBob
out to my
references.
spongy and peak starfish homies.
So he goes around the house trying to get someone to do to fall for the trick, and eventually he gets Mr. Harriman to open it up, and when he opens it, it scares Mr. Harriman to death. I can barely say his name, Harriman. Um, so after Blue realizes that he's dead, he goes to bury him in the backyard, and Mr. Harriman comes back as a zombie, infecting the entire house. And well, yeah, that's pretty much the plot. I don't want to. Well, I guess we're gonna give the ending away eventually, but yeah, that's the plot.
Basically, yeah, everybody that Blue is trying to get away from all the damn zombies and shit. So, which I'll fucking give the ending away. He basically ends up finding out it's a trick. It's all a trick, which I seen coming from the beginning. Obviously, as soon
Yeah,
as this dude just ends up dying, I'm like, oh yo, they're finna pop up. They finna trick this dude. They finna get Blue, man. They finna get Blue.
yeah.
And I gotta say, I fucking hate Blue. Like this is my first episode ever watching of this shit. Like, and that's why I want to do this, man. I want to get introduced to a lot of new cartoons, and I fucking hate this little. His name is Blue, right? It's not nothing else, just
Yeah,
Blue. The little fat,
yeah,
little short midget motherfucker. I hate this goddamn guy, but he's walking around tricking everybody. Then he basically gets this one dude, and he finally tries and ends up dying. I'm like, okay, well, this is what you get. You want to trick everybody. People already know you trick. This dude falls for and dies. Well, I hope you could go to jail. And the funny thing is, and I guess this is one moment that I can quickly mention is when he's talking about, oh yeah, I'm being the slammer, and then he's gonna be, and then you would normally think like he's gonna talk about how he's gonna get straight up his butthole pumped up, but he's talking about I'm gonna have me a nice awesome cellmate who's gonna be lifting weights and da 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 woo 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 all this crazy ass shit. I'm like, well, that took a different turn, but okay, sure. But what are your first impressions of this? What are your first impressions of this?
this was a show I used to watch a lot. Well, I guess a lot might be a stretch, but I used to watch it a good decent bit when I was a kid. I haven't seen it in probably like 11 years, easily, something like that. I used to enjoy it. I really used to enjoy it. Um, the thing that surprised me was like, because the only voice that I could have vaguely remember was Eduardo, which was the big demon thing, who was
Yeah.
scary, and Wilt, who was the big tall red guy. So those were the only voices I could remember. So like when I first heard Blue and Max, but Max's voice kind of grew on me again, I guess. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, that's what they sounded like. I don't remember them sounding like that. So that was my first impressions. Like the voices kind of threw me off at first.
I had that happen to me in a couple of cartoons. I definitely had that happen to me in a couple of cartoons. But I mean, this is a decent episode. I'm not even gonna lie. For me, just watching one episode of this for the obviously my first time, I
Hmm.
really enjoyed it. We'll say that till we get on to the review. But moments wise, boy, I tell you, like I said, once he basically takes down the dude, he sees that he's dead. Like I said, I that's when I noticed like, yo, they're gonna set this dude up, they're gonna trick him, and him going around wanting to have everybody try out that peanut brittle can. It's just like, man, that shit just pissed me off. I don't know why I get so like irritated with little shit like that. Like in real life, if I see a kid, and it's gonna make me sound so terrible, but fuck it. Like if my niece keeps going around or nephew or whatever keeps going around trying to like trick people like that, because that's who it reminded me of. And like nobody's going for it. Like, here, try this, try this, try it. Like if I hear something repeatedly, it just automatically gets on my fucking nerves. That's just me,
I
I'm a
think that was
terrible
part of the
person in real
build-up,
life.
though. They were
Yeah,
trying to build it up to be like, oh, everybody's wise to this trick.
right, right. And this one dude who falls for it ends up supposedly getting killed. So,
Yeah.
but
I
I
would say
will
this has a
say,
mini first impression though. Like this, I was surprised at how dark this episode, like how dark they took the episode.
uh,
Cause like,
especially for a Cartoon Network show, boy.
cause they pretty much were saying he killed him and he was dead. There was no like, oh, he was knocked out. There was no,
Not only that
vagaries.
though,
They said he was dead.
they showed the dude trying to bury the fucking body. Not only that, they were having this dude walk around with. The, listen, they so cold with it. This dude's just basically trying to wheel his ass around, and I think he tries to go down some steps. It's like, he's already dead. Just send that motherfucker flying down the steps. He's just falling all over the place. I'm like, holy shit, this is a kid show. Then you have this dude basically walking around with his puppet in his hands and shit, and just trying to
Yeah.
like talk for him and whatnot. Like, yo, can't nobody see this dude's dead? Like, what the fuck? And then he buries him in the shower. He doesn't even bury him. He just digs a little hole and just puts him in there. Like no fucking remorse. Like if the police come and just see that shit, he's like, oh, well, this dude's dead. Who did it? At least conceal the damn body, man. Jesus Christ. But that's why he came back as a zombie. So I really hated that little motherfucking wannabe Smurf ass dude. I fucking hate him. I really do hate him. He's
I
so
feel like
annoying
that's
to me.
I feel like that's kind of like the point of his character in a way, because like how some like they'll have some characters where like the whole point is for them to be, I don't want to say annoying, but like they're them arrogant characters that you're not supposed to like in the normal sense. I guess if
Right.
that makes any sense.
Did he end up leaving that Mexican dude he was with when they were
Um,
running?
yeah, he
He
did.
just
He just
abandoned
dipped
his
out of.
ass.
It's like, oh well, Ed's dead, and then just left.
He showed it. He showed it, that fucking asshole. And then when he finally gets up there to Mac and shit, barricades the door, and the zombies are just beating on that motherfucker. And Mac's over there scared as shit. Cut me free! Cut me free! The motherfucking zombie, boom, 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 just breaking that bitch down. And then he starts running towards him and tossing candy in his mouth and whatnot. Because he got like a little sugar makes him go crazy and shit. That's why he always like staying locked up for Halloween.
Yep.
And this dude ends up taking out all the zombies and shit. So it's just like, man, I gotta say that's my second, or maybe that's my most favorite moment out of the entire episode. Honestly, I really enjoyed that moment. That shit made me laugh. I'm like, yo, these zombies gonna fuck them both up, yo. They gonna die. Cause they was beating that door down. Y'all don't understand. Y'all need to watch the damn episode. They was beating that door at the end, boy. Boom, boom, boom. And then Mac thought little blue nigga was gonna leave him. And he's like, no,
Yeah,
don't
he jumped out the
leave me.
window.
Oh shit,
That was
man.
funny how he like hopped back up with two like kids because they didn't want to let go of their candy. And then when the kids
Yeah.
saw the zombies, they freaked out and jumped out the window.
And he finally gives the little homie the candy. He just starts going berserk. He goes straight up bananas and takes all them dudes out. Yo, that shit's crazy. I was like, oh shit, go kill them, take them all down, boy. But that's basically how the
Oh,
episode ends.
another
And that's
funny
when,
moment to me though was when they was running from the zombies and Coco, the weird chicken thing, he friggin' laid an egg and kicked it at them. That was funny to me.
Here's my baby. Bloop. Just fucking sent that shit flying at. That's fucked up, man. You can't do your baby like that. You got any more favorite moments before we get into the final review?
It was kind of funny to me when I can't remember exactly when it was, but I know it's when all of them, when Blue, Ed, and Coco noticed that all of the zombies. I think for the second time, I think it's when they realized the woman was a zombie, and then you just see Ed, and then you see Ed just pass out, just drop on the ground. That was funny to me. But I think that's about it in terms of moments I could think of.
Okay. Review wise, I gotta say, man, like I said, for me, not watching this series at all, especially compared to Ed, Ed and Eddie and Billy and Mandy, I gotta say, this honestly, this honestly was a good episode. Like I got introduced to the character pretty well. I knew who he was. I can put together his personality. The story in itself, whether it be basic or not, like it was well put together. You have good build up with this dude trying to trick everybody. Like, yeah, here, try this can out. Gets one dude who finally does try it out, ends up dying and allegedly becomes a zombie. And then the main goal was to run away from him, and basically finds out later that it's a joke. So story wise, it's pretty damn good, honestly. Like structure wise, it's pretty damn good. Um,
Hmm.
Only one character to deal with, and that was the blue dude. I really didn't pay attention to many of the other characters, but I knew who the main character was, the little blue dude. Um, and I hate him, and like you said, that's probably part of his character. So you know what? They definitely accomplished that pretty damn well. Um, but overall, it was a pretty enjoyable episode. So I'll I'll give it a nice seven, to probably 7.5. That's a gimmick with me, but I legit did kind of, because I don't want to give it a 6. That seems too low to me. Maybe a 6.5. I'll give it a 6.5 because I'm thinking, like I said, school scale and whatnot, and that's a 65%. But I think it's pretty decent. It's not a 65%. It's a 6.5 out of 10. I still
Yeah,
think
it's a
that's too low.
6.5, motherfucker.
I'll say 7. I don't. That's why I'm not good with numbers, man. That's why I don't like giving ratings.
We're talking a scale out of 10, not 100.
I know.
But
I'll give it a 7. 7 out of 10.
yeah, but I thought it was really enjoyable. It what am I trying to say? Like I said, it really kind of threw me off because this is the first time I saw the anything of the show in a very long ass time. Well, I wouldn't say anything of it because I saw a video from, I think it's Nerdstalgic the other day talking about it. But I think it was a really decent episode. I don't know, like I really want to say I feel like there was better episodes from the show though. Um, but I think I'm gonna give the episode. I think I'm gonna give it a 6.5. I enjoyed
Okay.
it, but it wasn't nothing too crazy to me.
No, yeah, you're right. It was pretty average, like I said. Like it's a storyline that's been done over and over. I'm sure in many other different cartoons. So nothing really felt special about it. But it was pretty average. That's why I said a nice 7. Average but enjoyable. Um, Not as
Hmm.
bad as The Simpsons in my opinion. But it's alright. It's decent. It's decent. But you give it a 6.5. I give it a nice solid 7. And there you go,
Yeah.
y'all. That's our review for Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. That's hard to fucking say that name. I almost forgot that shit again. And this episode was, what was it called? I can't
Nightmare
remember
on
this shit.
Wilson Way.
Nightmare on Wilson Way. I can't fucking. That's too much to remember, man. Recording this shit late as hell at night. It's too
Hey,
much to
when you
remember.
really think about it, SpongeBob SquarePants is not really that short.
Well, yeah, but it's 2 words.
When you really think, no, it's technically 4.
It's technically 4, but you know what? They're combined, motherfucker. And that's the name of the main character.
That's
Listen, if it
just
was
that's
called, listen,
semantics.
no, listen. If it's called Blue and Mac, yo, best believe I remember that shit. I remember that shit for. It's,
But
it's
the main focus of it is the home, and it's
listen,
Foster's
listen,
home.
listen,
So yeah.
listen. This is Ray Rawlins Network. Y'all know what it is. Fuck this show with the long ass name, but it was a decent episode though. My name's Ray Rawlins. He's Alex Payne. This is a 31 Days of Halloween Cartoons Marathon. Y'all know what it is. We're going to continue it tomorrow till we get to October 31st and hit this bad boy with a final bang. We will see ya when we see ya. Peace.